If you discover a fire in your workplace, you're faced with an immediate and important decision. Do I evacuate and report the fire? Or do I try to put out the fire using a fire extinguisher? Your own safety, the safety of others, and the protection of property all depend on you making the right decision. One thing we can say for sure. Experts advise that you never attempt to put out a fire with a fire extinguisher unless you have been trained to do so. For the next few minutes, we'll give you essential information about extinguishers, but until you've had actual hands-on practice in a training session, you're not fully prepared to use a fire extinguisher. Not all fires are alike. The National Fire Protection Association has established 5 general classes of fire. These classifications are based on the types of materials that are burning. The classes of fire are represented by letters that are prominently displayed on fire extinguishers. It's important to remember that portable fire extinguishers are designed for use on fires that are small, relatively confined, and not producing heavy smoke or dangerous heat. Fires that are called incipient stage or early stage fires. Class A fire extinguishers are designed for fires involving common solid combustibles, such as wood, cloth, and paper products. Because these fires often produce ash, thinking A stands for ash is a good way to remember the purpose of an A fire extinguisher. On Class A fire extinguishers, the letter A is often shown in a green triangle. Class A extinguishers also include a graphic depicting a burning trash container and a wood fire. The most common extinguishing agent or way to put out the fire in Type A fire extinguishers is water, but dry chemicals are also effective. Class B fire extinguishers are designed to subdue fires involving flammable liquids, greases, and gases. If you think that these combustibles are liquids, you can remember B stands for boil. On Class B extinguishers, the letter B is often shown in a red square. The graphic representation for Class B fires is a gasoline can and burning liquid. The most common extinguishing agent in Class B fire extinguishers is dry chemical, but foam and carbon dioxide are also used. Class C fire extinguishers are designed to suppress fires involving electrical equipment. The memory trick here is C stands for current. On the Class C extinguisher, the C is often shown in a blue circle, and the graphic includes an electrical cord and a burning electrical outlet. Class C fire extinguishers must contain a non-conducting agent, such as carbon dioxide or dry chemicals. You never want to use foam or water-type fire extinguishers on electrical fires, because water is an excellent conductor of electricity, and you could be electrocuted. Often, fire extinguishers are designed to suppress more than one type of fire. If this is the case, the extinguisher will be marked with all the applicable class labels, often ABC, for example. A commonly found type of ABC extinguisher contains a dry powder extinguishing agent. In the fire extinguisher demonstration segment of this training program, you'll see an ABC extinguisher in action. Commonly available BC extinguishers use carbon dioxide as an extinguishing agent because it's effective on electrical and liquid-fueled fires. There are 2 more classes of fire to consider, Class D and Class K. Class D fire extinguishers are used on metal fires. Metal fires burn at dangerously high temperatures. Think D for dangerous to remember Class D extinguishers. On a Class D fire extinguisher, the D is often shown in a yellow star. There are a wide range of flammable metals present in industrial settings, and the agents used to suppress these fires vary with the type of metal involved. Finally, if you work in food service or with cooking oils, you may see a Class K fire extinguisher. Remember this by thinking K stands for kitchen. In addition to the lettering system, some fire extinguishers will have a number preceding the letter or letters. This number is an indication of the size of fire the extinguisher is designed to suppress. The larger the number, the larger the fire it can handle. All classes of fire extinguishers generally share a common design. As an example, we'll use this class ABC dry chemical extinguisher. The cylinder contains the firefighting agent. On top is a carrying handle, an operating lever or sometimes a button, and a locking pin to prevent the extinguisher from being discharged unintentionally. Most fire extinguishers also have a pressure indicator gauge to easily determine that the extinguisher has adequate pressure for use. When activated, the contents of the cylinder come out through a hose, which often has a nozzle or a discharge horn to direct the firefighting chemicals at the base of the fire. And here's an important reminder. Every fire extinguisher will have a label, which describes the class of fire it's designed to put out, along with other important information about its use. The time to read this label is long before you would ever need to use the extinguisher to fight a fire. In addition to reading the label before actually having to use the extinguisher, it's a good idea to lift it to test its weight. Portable fire extinguishers can weigh as much as 30 pounds, and you don't want to be surprised by the weight if you have to hold it up when using it. At the beginning of this segment, we talked about the decision you have to make regarding fighting the fire versus evacuating the area. Before using an extinguisher, be sure that someone is calling the fire department or the fire alarm is sounding. The building is being evacuated. The fire is small and confined. You know the source of the fire. You have a safe exit to your back. The right type of extinguisher is readily available, and you're trained and confident in using the extinguisher. In another segment of this training program, you'll see a step-by-step operation of two commonly used fire extinguishers. But for now, we'll give you a quick demo. If there is wind or a predominant direction of airflow where you are, make sure you have the wind at your back. You don't want the contents of the fire extinguisher blowing back at you during discharge. Position yourself about 8 to 10 feet from the fire and use the pass technique. PASS stands for pull, aim, squeeze, and sweep. Pull the pin. You may want to give it a little twist to help break the seal. And be careful not to squeeze the lever as you pull the pin. Aim the nozzle at the base of the fire. Squeeze the operating lever to discharge the extinguisher. Sweep back and forth across the base of the fire and not at the flames, as you want to aim directly at the heat source. And always empty the fire extinguisher to ensure that the fire is completely out. A common misconception regarding fire extinguishers is how long they last. Typical portable fire extinguishers discharge the entire contents of the cylinder in 10 to 30 seconds. If the fire does not respond to the extinguishing agent, it's time to evacuate. Fires spread fast, so don't look for another extinguisher to try again. The time to educate yourself about the types, uses, and techniques of fire extinguishers is long before you need to use one. So be sure to watch the detailed demonstration available in this training program.